Boy, that's a serious rain jacket you got there, Edmund.
I just want to make sure they see me.
That, I guess so. I can see you.
You know? What do you think? What's that?
It was thundering again when I walked in.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that was quite something. So hopefully everybody's okay and there are no trees down and
There were a
anybody's.
few, there's some stuff.
Yeah, I think there's one way down on Merwinbrook or South Up too, so I saw the town head down that way. Alrighty. Other than that, hope everybody's okay, and hopefully it won't rain too much, but, we'll do what we can to keep this humming along. All right, it is 7 o'clock, let's turn, oh, thank you.
I did.
Thank you. Alrighty, it is, 7 o'clock, I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Brookfield Inland Wetlands Commission. Today is Monday, the 26th of June, 2023. My name is Sharon Fox. I act as chair of the commission. To my right, Mr. Bob Huddeman, who is the commission secretary. To my left, Mr. Michael Neustadt, who is the commission's vice chair. Further down, Mr. Dave Frankel, who is a regular member. So there's 4 of us. So we will all be voting members tonight. And also with us, my far left, handling all the technology on her own, is Cassandra Varian, right? Yep. Okay, good. All right, so with that, again, I make note our inland wetlands officer is not available to attend tonight. So I'm going to do my best with that report. Let's see, just take a quick look at 731. Looks like that is all green. I love that. So I know there was someone here from that application, so thank you very much. Please pass that along if you wouldn't mind to Tony. And then I said, just while we're on it, just to note that last week we talked about 701. I was pretty sure that I said we were going to have reporting on 701, but it is not in the motion, that is for sure. So we will rely upon the applicant, you know, per the approval that they have, is they have to provide the reports after a 1-inch rainfall. Okay, so that should be, I don't know, on page, it's somewhere in the approval. That's the standard, that's the standard stuff. Yeah, so if you want to just double check. Yeah, but I did see your email and that. So just for the record, I'm talking to Michelle Macaulay, who is very familiar with 731 and 701 and actually raised the point about 701 last week, so thank you for that. It's in there someplace. Reports 1 inch of rainfall. Let me know if you don't find it.
Also, there was one other thing in here. Apparently, there's a little bit of trash around the silt fence in the wetlands.
Yeah, okay,
So-
well, they've been, you know, I think once they get a chance to get at that, they will get a chance at
They mentioned
it.
that at each report and said they do a good job of cleaning it up.
Okay, good.
Just can't, you know, typical work site can't
Yep.
be eliminated.
So it says here, Sharon, said controls are to be inspected by the permittee for deficiencies at least once per week and after it rains.
After it rains, yeah, okay. I thought it said 1 inch, but maybe, okay, well, whatever, because you can see the applicant has the reports. Okay. So then, 100 Candlewood Lake Road. We still don't have anything from the town. Again, the permit for that town school project, that approval required reports about the remediation. It required reports from a soil scientist about how the wetlands were going to be recreated, or the wetlands were going to be recreated, and what changes there may or may not have been when they actually were there on site. We have nothing, and this is very distressing. I mean, the town and its agents, I think, should be held to the same standard as everyone else. So, I am going to take it upon myself, when Laura gets back, to reach out to the Municipal Building Committee and or the selectmen, perhaps both, and say, please adhere to the parameters or the stipulations or the requirements, thank you, the requirements there, Cassandra, for the permit. Ay, ay, ay.
You had said at the end of the construction sequence, if we weren't satisfied, they wouldn't get a certificate of occupancy.
Yeah, that's further down. Again, then I will make mention of that again, but yes. So again, remember, we have two things on the agenda here. The first is the reports, which were a requirement of the permit. And second, there was a stipulation for 4,000 square feet of wetlands to be created, and that is on our agenda as 5A, Dave. So we can talk again about that when we
Yeah.
get to 5A, okay?
Sure.
Okey-doke. Let's see, 23 Grays Bridge. Let's see, I think that one is also in good shape, although there's no activity going on there. But boy, they got a lot of stuff on that lot, don't they? I go by it more often. I'm trying to avoid Federal Road with all the potholes
Oh,
and the
yeah.
traffic and the lane closures and, oh my goodness.
Yeah, he said Federal Road was closed for a while the other day.
Yeah, it's a
Just
big,
all the work they're doing.
big project. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is that. Anybody else, any comments about the reports from the active sites?
No, it looked good to me.
Okay. Let's see, so now we'll move on to enforcement. Again, I think with Laura is just getting her, getting acquainted with the process. I spoke with her very briefly last Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, about 35 Merwin Brook, and would she look into the paperwork so that she can be assured, or she can assure us that it is not deficient, which will allow us to start the fines for 35 Merwin Brook, since the property owner has missed the deadline for providing a plan to restore that. Yeah, do we need name and address?
Ralph Gallagher.
Yeah,
Third Avenue, Penrith.
okay,
Mr. Casella has contacted me, and he asked me to get a hold of Jim McManus to go out and go over this 35 Merwin Brook and give us a report, and he's doing that. So.
well, that's nice, but that's nice,
Well,
that is nice, thank you for that update.
That's all I know.
Okay,
I
well-
don't know, I knew that there was a long time before anything happened,
Yep,
but, I thought they were getting Mr. McManus a month or two ago.
okay,
I'm like, what's going on? And I called Jim, and he said, yeah. He says, I'm gonna get there. I said, Jim, this is more important than you think. They're about to, lose their minds over this. So, Mr. McManus is making it a purpose of going out there and giving us a report on his recommendations on what be done and what is actually there and all that. So.
okay. Well, I very, very, very much appreciate you speaking up there and adding to that. Again, you're right, we're deeply concerned about it. There was a challenge trying to reach the property owner because, again, he's a human being and he's moving around, so we did reach him. We spoke to him, we asked for a plan. We asked for the plan in May.
He doesn't know.
We asked for the plan in May, I'm just reiterating that. We don't have it, and now it is unclear to us, though I do respect what you said, where we stand with this, and I'm very worried about, like I said, what happened there, because they pretty much grubbed all the way to that little brook down
Well,
there.
they're gonna have to replant. They
That's-
realize they're gonna have to replant some.
That's what we,
They're gonna have to do it based on Mr. McManus's report on what should be done.
that is true, so,
We don't really have a good handle on what would be acceptable, but he does. He's a registered soil scientist.
yes, and he's
He's
very,
good at that.
yes, and he's very good. I said, our concern is, I said, we do plan to, and you can, if you speak with the property owner, it is our intent to start fines, because we have, you are the first one, and you're just doing this, I think, because you're here.
Right.
We have no update, and we're very concerned about it. But tell them to be prepared for fines.
I believe this was due May 1st, everything we're talking about. It's, almost 2 months later, so.
Yeah, and
It's June 26th, so.
yeah, and the problem started last summer.
Yes,
Right.
yes, and we were supposed to get a proposed remedy by May 1st.
Right.
And, here we are.
So,
I don't think we're being that tough either.
but thank you again.
Yep.
Thank you for that update. Let me see. Okay, all right, so That is it. I've also spoken, so I think that is it for now. Anything else on enforcement from any of my colleagues? All right, so next on our agenda is the continued public hearing. I'm going to hold that till we are done with old business and new business. So that's going to take us to 5A, which is the school project at 100 Candlewood Lake Road. And yes, Dave, this is our agenda item tracking that second thread, which is that that we can determine they are still short 700 square feet-ish, approximately, in the creation of the wetlands, which is the remediation for them destroying about 1,000 square feet of wetlands to get that school done the way they wished to. So we still do not have anything, and again, I'll just reiterate, that needs to be resolved before wetlands can sign off on the certificate of occupancy for that school. So I'll make a motion then to continue 100 Candlewood Lake Road to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
Okay, I don't know who seconded that.
That's all right. Pick one.
Bob. He's to the right. Oh, then we'll go left, right, left. So Bob seconded that. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Aye. Okey dokey. Next, we have 126 North Lakeshore Drive.
For the record, Ralph Gallagher, representing the applicant.
Okay.
And I know we've been back and forth with questions and things, but
I think, let me just help you. I think we were all ready to go, but we couldn't find the updated map.
okay.
Maybe there was just a
Yeah, we
process
sent those
issue.
in.
So let's see if we've got it, Ralph. So again, just help Cassandra out, name and address.
Ralph Gallagher, 39 Mill Plain Road, licensed professional engineer.
All right, so
And that's Dan.
Ralph,
Maria, of course.
the only map I've got in the file, well, I don't know, let's see what this one says. Whoa, whoa.
What's the latest revision there?
5/31/2023, so this
Yeah,
is the
that's
one, okay.
latest one.
So, yeah, this is what we were missing, we had nothing to approve.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So that's okay, so you've got the 440 line-ish on
Yeah,
here
we
someplace? Just show me here on this one.
The 440 line is,
436,
well, it's not
440,
actually
here
the,
we go,
it's
440,
the property.
there it is.
It's the property, we highlighted it, it's just right across,
Oh, I see,
right across, that's a setback.
I see this, I see
highlighted
440
it.
right
Yeah, I
here.
tried to figure that out, and I could only follow it this far. I don't know
I'm sorry, here,
Working
this
here.
is it, this is it.
the 440.
Not, forget about, everyone thinks the 440 is really the 440. The 440 is not the 440. 440 was what they assumed to be the 440 in 1927. It's never been like that since.
All right,
But it is a property line, and it can be found, and it is called the 440, but it's not the 440 elevation,
okay,
nor, and it is the 440 elevation that they assumed back in 27.
Okay.
Before someone cut and filled the property.
Ah,
So the
okay.
property line never moves.
okay,
And this is the project boundary right there.
okay, all right, well then that's helpful, we
Yep.
did not understand that. And you've got the leader drains attached, here's the waste, and
Yep.
leader drains.
The leader drains go down to the old septic tank.
And they come from the, where are they,
They
coming
come
from the house?
corner of the house there. and
Oh,
the
here we go,
corner
there
of
we
the
go,
house
there we go, okay, there we go.
And then they go down to the old septic system, which we're
Excuse me,
using
Bob.
as a stormwater management, which works perfect.
And I think we saw your calculation.
Yes,
Last week.
this map shows it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, I know, but here's
See,
the
here's
problem.
the- here's the,
Ralph, look, I appreciate that, but it's gotta be here, I
Yeah,
gotta
no, well,
understand it
I mean,
here.
This is colored so you can see it better. See, here's the
Okay.
property boundary down here.
All right, so this is that, and this is the property boundary.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you grab the approval stamp for me down there, please? All right, I don't think we need any
Okay.
special stipulations on this.
Well, we're not
I don't think so.
We're not, the first light, anything done on first light property either is nothing or will have to be done under a separate permit. So, I mean, that's the way all towns are working now. That's what Mr. Wood has decided.
Yeah, that's what we understand,
Yeah.
so we can,
He's-
it doesn't matter to
He
us.
told Mr. Simkins in New Fairfield, you could stay off my property.
Okay.
He said,
All
don't
right.
approve anything on my property.
All right, well then, I think maybe we'll try and just pick that up when we do this motion. Maybe we can start to pick that little, little nugget up.
Well, that
You know,
was,
to say, this is approving the, anything above this. Does this have a line?
That's the boundary line.
yeah,
That was the 1927 to 440 line.
1927 boundary line.
Yeah, and they call it the project boundary.
yeah. That was the reason I was concerned about exactly where this so-called 440 line is, because
Yeah.
our jurisdiction goes to that,
Correct.
not
Right.
beyond.
Correct.
So-
And it's been a monstrously confusing thing over
Yeah,
the last
we've-
80 years, because surveyors have actually gone as far as to go down to the water, shoot the water, find out what the elevation is, and then run their survey based on that. That's wholly inadequate, wholly inadequate.
Okay, just do me one favor, Ralph, we just updated the construction sequence here to say, call a Brookfield Land Use Office for inspection before proceeding, just drop your initials.
Doing
in there.
initials on there?
Yeah, someplace. So, I'll make a
G.
motion here.
And what's today's date?
Today is the
6/26?
26th.
Yep.
Yeah,
23.
yeah,
There you go.
okay. All right, I'll make a motion then to approve the application W-23-22 for 126 North Lake Shore Drive as described, I lost my pen, as described on thank you, a set of plans by R.J. Gallagher with an original date of 2/25/23 and a last revision of 5/31/23, making note that one, all the normal stipulations will apply. Second, that the approval is only for those activities above the 1927 boundary line, which is highlighted in orange on said map. And the approval includes incorporation of the construction sequence for the Porges residence, which is a document that was received and amended on May 22nd, 2023. Did I get it all?
Second that.
Did I get it all?
Yep, sounded good.
I get it all?
Sounds
The
good to me.
usual rules
We
and
got it all.
stipulations.
I put the usual ones at the front.
Okay.
All right, then, no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries
Thank you very
unanimous.
We're
much,
all
ladies and
set.
gentlemen.
Thank
Have a great
you.
day.
Thanks,
You
Ralph.
too.
Okay. So are you Old Bridge? Okay,
You don't look like an old bird. No, not at all.
okay.
You got me to the roads, right?
Oh, good, all right, so we're gonna go on to 43 Old Bridge. So,
Michelle Diverse Employee, Professional Engineering Group.
okay, excuse me.
Sure.
Oh, hell, I'll get it.
Oh, this is, I'm confused. This is 731.
Yeah, that's next.
Yeah, it's the other one. That's,
All right.
yeah.
All right, so, I don't remember, what did we do with this one? Give me one,
You asked for a construction sequence.
oh, that could be.
And that's on here.
That would be a good idea.
Yep.
And. Oh, and there's a couple of trees which you didn't think was gonna be a problem at all. Oh, this is the whatever, again, okay. All right, so, we've got a construction sequence here someplace?
It's on the plan. Should be the top one, this one.
All right, I have a plan. Is it in the plan?
Yeah, I put it on the plan for you, make it easier.
Oh, good idea. Oop, thank you.
So I put
So
it
this
here.
is the one. 5/20/23? 6/20/23. 6/20/23?
Yes.
Okey-doke. All right, so, open obtain all permits, erosion control, it's called town for inspection, 8 to 10 existing dead trees come out, felled dressed trees. Using an ATV with a trailer, contractor in the mailbox, to transport and using an ATV with a trailer, that should be all right, right? Well, you weren't
Yeah.
here, right? Yeah, I think that's fine. Contractor footpath, rough grade, construct a boulder wall.
There's a little wall
Oh, right, boulder wall. Hand dig barn footings, construct the barn, final grades, all right. Okay, good. I know you weren't here, Michael.
No.
This is way, way
Goes
down
way
on Lake
back, yeah.
Leonard. The home is like way up here.
Okay, I was just
Yeah.
gonna ask where the,
It's way up here,
oh, okay,
right?
so this
I don't
is
even know what is
just,
the elevation of the house, right?
You know, I didn't even bring that full plan with me tonight, so sorry about that.
No, that's
okay.
okay. The house
Oh,
is
it's
up,
here, so.
where is it? Where's the house is up at 340?
Yeah.
That's 100-ish feet down.
Yeah,
So,
it's a big property.
it is a big property.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. It's pretty good to me.
It's just
horses
a
and
little
cows or
barn.
boats?
And chickens, yeah.
It's
What's
gonna
that?
just be for kayaks, boats, stuff, whatever. they
Gotcha.
want. It's all just to use the lake, the river. I don't want to call it a lake.
I don't know, I think they call things lakes behind all the dams,
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
Yeah, Lake Powell. Dave, anything on your mind?
No, I
Okay.
think, no, this looks fine.
You wanna make I've got the plan right here, so I mean, it's easy for me to get the dates, so why don't I just make a motion here? Whoop. I'll make a motion to approve W-23-24, 43 Old Bridge Road as depicted on a map from Artel Engineering with an original date of 5/25/23 with the last revision of 6/20/23 with all the usual stipulations.
I'll second it.
So.
I gotta give you a break.
Yeah. No,
Sorry.
race in. So Dave seconded it.
Yes.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. You're welcome.
Thank
Oh,
you.
you're
Thank you.
welcome. Tell them good luck with it.
I know, and they're excited.
Yeah, it's big.
Pretty easy, wasn't it?
That one was pretty easy.
Yeah. It should all be this way.
I wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, what about the next one?
Right.
Oh, it's my favorite project. I
What
feel
about
like
the
it's
next one?
never gonna go away.
Oh dear, all right, so we're gonna move on. I think
Busy?
next we
Have you
have
been
is
busy?
731
Yes.
Federal Road, so again.
Michelle Morris McCauley, Michelle Green Group, Brookfield, Connecticut.
All right, so this is a site plan modification, I heard.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
A
So do
few
you wanna
more
tell us
parking.
what we should be looking at and what is this thing?
So, the 731, you're all familiar with that.
We are indeed.
So, in speaking with town representatives, they have asked or requested that we provide additional parking for the greenway. So we have added 26 parking spaces.
They're all up here?
They're all here. So we've gone to the ZBA because we're too close to the property line. We
Okay.
received our variance. So this whole row here is new.
So where's the this is the entrance?
This is the entrance.
Okay.
So you come in before, I actually did a little red line if you wanna see it.
Yeah, could you? I mean, that's right, you did have a little,
I
That
forgot
was
there's
there.
gonna
That
be
was
two
there,
entrances,
right?
right? There's
Right,
another one up there.
that's-
This is
that
the,
that is
this
the
is the
main-
north entrance.
this is the north entrance, great.
So I did it two ways, let me show you. So, this red line was the edge of the driveway before.
Okay.
So there was no parking, so you drove down, parking on this side. So we're adding this parking here.
So it doesn't affect the wetlands or anything at all?
So where's the building?
The building's down here.
Ah,
So this
okay.
is to provide,
Okay.
so this parking was for the greenway. The town asked if we could get more for the greenway.
I'm just
So
mentally, oh, that's right, 'cause here's where like
I
the
haven't-
construction
Here's
trailer,
the full,
here's the construction
Right.
trailer
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
gas
yeah.
tank, which ended up back over here.
Right.
and that's way down.
Yeah, I was just having trouble with the end of the building and this, it just seemed like that was a
Yeah.
bigger distance.
731 is it being constructed right now?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Big
so
time.
it's the,
Went up
it's the
overnight.
building, yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
they-
building just
So-
south of the four
Here's
corners,
something,
right?
This helps you. This is the
Just south of the
wall.
full corners, yes.
So this is the building. Right now, they put the trusses on.
yeah, the trusses
Yeah,
on her,
yeah,
yeah.
This entrance is in.
Yeah, I saw that,
They're actually working on the wall, so
Yeah.
the pond is in.
Yeah.
They worked on this, last week. This is all kind of roughed out.
right,
The drainage is actually all in. That's why I didn't move the catch basin back, I just graded everything to the catch basin, it's all in already. So we're just adding this strip here, cause this was always proposed.
Okay.
So you're not really
Yeah, we-
affecting
I
it?
didn't shift any, you know, I held,
Excuse
this is
me.
why we went for the variance, cause I know you wanted a riparian buffer in
Right,
here.
right, right,
So I held,
yep.
the, you know, I didn't touch
Okay.
the buffer, it was just adding here, and we went for the variance.
Yeah, but you're
So
not
this-
affecting anything.
So this
As far
is
as
in
we're
a
concerned.
regulated
Doesn't seem
area,
to
but
be.
not in the
Doesn't-
wetlands.
doesn't seem to
Is
be.
that correct?
Yeah, the wetlands are down
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 in
here.
that other side, yeah.
This section, and then, like I said, I did some more red so you could see, here's another, you know, here was the edge that we had approved, the red is the new parking. And then this dark line was the LOD, the limited disturbance line that was approved.
Yeah.
So we're increasing it slightly to, you know, for some grade, you know, to grade back now. So
Right.
this grading kind of shifted back a little bit.
Right.
It
What
wasn't,
about salt and stuff like that in the wintertime for, you know, runoff because of the rain and salt and snow and all this other stuff?
So we did deep catch basins, and all these catch basins have deep sumps, and then these circle things,
Circle things?
Well-
That's a scientific
Is that a-
term.
well, they're circled, there's the
An engineering
manholes
term.
that
Manholes.
have
Mhm.
the deep
Yep.
sumps.
Right.
The point of the riprap is to trap, you know, to try to
Right,
trap
I
everything
understand.
before it gets down to the river.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did a little breakdown. I
Well,
did last
salt is
week.
pretty soluble, it won't trap it,
Yeah,
you know, it breaks, I mean,
Yeah, she's just catching, you're just catching solids here, right? These aren't grit separators, these are just,
no, just
yeah,
solid.
just solids.
It was an increase of, the increase of disturbance was 2,880 square feet,
Okay,
and the increase of impervious was 3,735
all
square
right,
feet.
and you're not worried that I mean, whatever calculations you had for runoff are not
No, cause,
taking that into account, right?
yeah, because this is kinda, you know, this really wasn't sized to hold water back,
Right.
it's just to slow it down,
Right.
so.
filtration.
How many extra parking spaces are you gonna be getting?
26 spaces.
26.
Mhm.
So some people might park there and then walk into the Four Corners.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
okay.
think that the plan is to put signage up so they could park there during the day, and then at night, if people from the the rental units wanna park there, but they have to keep them open during the day for
Okay.
the town usage.
Well, I appreciate you not moving this line.
That
Every
I-
time I walk by this, I wonder if we did the right thing for the river, so I'm very grateful that you didn't you didn't go that way.
Well, I
So-
knew it was very important to you, honestly,
Yeah,
and
well,
I,
yeah, and I've been grateful for that, by the way, and please tell that to Tony too, I'm grateful for that.
so when they asked for the new spots, I said
Yeah.
to them, cause we actually, if, it's a little harder on
Yeah.
these spots,
Yeah,
and I think maybe these ones are actually compact,
okay,
so they could be a little narrower.
yep,
Not as long, so that I didn't have to move this, cause if we didn't do that, we wouldn't have room for without moving this, we wouldn't have been able to fit the spot, so I did compact.
okay, I'm grateful for that. I
Are
didn't wanna
compact
get-
spots just shorter or
They're ju-
narrower?
For
They're-
more of the electric cars,
Yeah.
right, well, which tend to be smaller,
They
right?
do.
Yeah,
They're a foot narrower and they're 2 feet shorter.
okay,
They're still pretty wide spots though.
yeah. All right, I
So
don't
that-
see
that
any,
was-
I don't see anything, I don't
I'm
see
all right.
anything here, I'm all right with this, again, I appreciate you not coming here, because I think I would have had a very difficult problem with that.
Well, that was,
Yeah, and
when Tony and I talked about it, I kinda put my foot, I said, we cannot move it any closer.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that the commission really, cause we
Yeah.
originally had it closer and you asked me to
Right.
shove it all back, and
Yep.
we had originally went for the variance.
Variance, right,
So we went to, that's why I was here last week, or 2 meetings, was try to get my variance for
Yeah.
this. They wanted us to come to you first, and I said,
Yeah, I've talked to her enough, I know what's gonna happen.
no, it's just the process makes, if they're not gonna approve it, what was the point of coming, to
Right.
see you, cause then
Right.
it was
Yes.
pointless.
Yep.
So, so,
Okay,
Have they approved it, or are you
Yeah.
still waiting?
No,
Oh,
we're
okay, so
approved.
you're all set now with
Yep.
us.
Now, can
Okay,
we
good.
approve this?
yeah, cause it's a
Or is
modification.
it a modification?
Yeah, it's a
Right.
modification, it was a new application, so
Yeah, I
thank
know.
you, yes, 2 weeks, but a modification on an in-process thing can be done the same night. Alrighty,
and there's been a lot of revisions, nothing that impacts you, it was all DOT stuff.
I believe you. I
So,
don't doubt that.
We've been working a lot, because there's gonna be a traffic light here, so
Yeah.
there's been a lot of back and forth with DOT, the OSTA division, to get that approved, so there's been a lot of revisions on since our
Yeah, there's
approval.
there's a little, I bet they had a conversation about line of sight, right? And, or no,
it's
or?
not so much the line of sight, it's just a lot with the sidewalks, with the greenway.
Okay.
They had concerns with this, cause we have, it's actually you can only make a right out, you can't make a left, so I did a little island here.
Oh,
So it was a lot of work with that.
good luck with that.
Oh,
I mean, you do what you do everything you can, but I remember like Walgreens.
Yeah.
I still see people go "Vroom," across traffic. It's like,
I have
what
to
is the
tell you,
matter with you?
I was at Dairy Queen, like a couple of weeks ago, and you're not allowed to make a left out of Dairy Queen.
Right.
I have to tell you, we sat outside, almost every other car made a left out of there. Shocking.
Yeah.
How many people make a left out of there? You,
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
what
then I
are
would
they
see-
thinking then with, how are you supposed to
Gotta go
go
down and
north
turn
there?
around.
Go down
Yeah,
and make a
turn
U-ey.
around.
People
Where,
were
by
making-
BJ's?
yeah.
Well, wherever.
They
Where?
were making rights, some people were making rights, and then they were making the left to go into Stop and Shop, but
Oh,
like
Lord, which is another one. Don't do
right,
that.
'cause it's for the
Well,
northbound people, it's
It
tough.
might get better, it'll get worse first, but
It's
it
gonna
might
get
get
worse.
better when they add the lanes and the
They're
lights.
still not gonna be able to make a right out of there, a left
Yeah.
out of there.
Yeah, now you gotta be crossing 3 lanes or
Yeah,
2 and a
two and a
half
half
or
or
whatever you wanna
lanes.
count.
That's
Or-
true.
Ay, 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 ay.
What's
I don't
DOT
know
thinking?
what is the matter with people?
You know, many years
It's
ago,
for
when I was
accidents.
involved in the construction of a hotel and the construction of Exit 8, I had a chance to visit Hartford, the transportation department, and the room where this was all done. And it was, you can't believe what I saw. It was out of a horror movie. It was this giant room with dozens and dozens of desks, old wooden desks, and guys with eye shades and armbands.
Get out.
I'm not
Where's this?
kidding. In Hartford, at the transportation department. Yeah, where they were designing roads. Let's see, if we can make this a left exit, that'll really get people mad. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move us along here.
Yeah.
That's
and
okay. No,
always
we were the distracting
Yeah, we
here.
can- yeah, we can-
All right, I'll make a motion to approve, W-23-28, a modification to 731 Federal Road, as described on a map by Artel Engineering with an original date of 6/15/20 and a, last revision date. This one says 6/14, just says revised to add portions of the wall? Oh,
It's the one back.
okay. So what is this one then?
So-
what is this then?
Let me explain, so.
Oh, thank
We
you.
had done,
So hold on to the motion, I withdraw the motion here.
so we had worked with Rochelle about
Okay.
eliminating the wall from here to here
Okay,
and doing like a riprap berm. She did it as an administrative approval. We have decided we're not doing that, we went back to the wall. So it's, basically, we could throw that approval out. They're already building it, they're doing the wall.
okay, so if we wanted to keep the paperwork trail clear, then we would approve 2 things. We would approve the additional parking, and we would approve another change to install a wall per the 6/14 revision. Is that right?
Well, the wall is the original wall that was approved, so I just went back to what was originally approved.
Okay.
I didn't change it.
But is there
All right, but-
Well,
paperwork
maybe we don't
showing
have to do that
the
then.
change of the
There was,
wall
I'm sure
to the
Rochelle had paperwork on the
Yeah.
previous one. That's
So
why
maybe
we'll pick
we'll-
it up here.
Override that paperwork.
See, this is why you read the notes.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of moving pieces. with
It was a tricky lot.
Were nervous because the soils weren't as ideal for the wall. They originally weren't as ideal, they thought, and they did additional borings, and it came back that it wasn't as bad as they thought. So we had switched it to doing this riprap berm, and, after they're doing their additional testing, it was determined the wall's okay, fine, we're doing the wall. So we're back to the wall.
I won't even ask what soils they found there.
I think it wasn't, I thought they were gonna have to put the footings a lot deeper.
Okay.
Which would create additional disturbance, and when they, they just did, borings wherever, and then when they did specific borings for the wall, they found out they didn't have to go as deep. We don't have to do any additional disturbance, they could do it as we originally had it approved.
I wouldn't doubt that in some past history, that there was a bigger floodplain here. That would be my guess. There was a much bigger flood.
55.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before, probably.
Right.
Yeah, before they monkeyed around with the
Based on
river.
my conversations with the contractor out there, a lot of the water is actually coming from
No,
this
no, 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 no,
wetland. Yeah.
the Still River.
Yeah.
That's where I think, this particular lot was shaped, I think, by the Still River. And my guess is before 1955, this river did different things than it does right now. And there may have been more wetlands here, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And it might do different things in the future.
And it might do different things in the future. Yep, we'll have to see. All right, so let me start the motion
Sorry
again.
about that.
I'll make a motion then to approve, I'm glad we talked about it. To approve W-23-28, it's a modification to an existing permit at 731 Federal Road, which includes, number one, the addition of additional parking spots on a revision dated May 9th, 2023, and a reversion to the wall on the southern entrance.
We're on the east side.
Well, this is south
Yes.
though, right? On the southern entrance as described on a revision dated 6/14/23. All the stipulations from the previous approval will carry through on this approval of the modification.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okay, yep, all right, thanks,
Boy,
Michelle.
that building did just sort of go up out of nowhere. It was kind of strange.
I've never seen anything quite like it, where they put the roof trusses together in the back and lift them.
All right,
Yeah.
You know,
All right,
there's
so let's
there's
do
another
14.
problem. You know, when you were talking about Federal Road, it's old New Milford Road. They made that one way.
I have to tell you, my office is where they put the new light, and it's very hard for us to get out to get to the light. from
I
our
believe that.
office, because they didn't make enough of a, stacking lane
yeah,
for us to pull out to make.
Well, you know, when Michael was talking about DOT headquarters in Hartford, they didn't think out old New Milford Road either, because the way to get to Federal Road is you have to go through a couple of parking lots, and it's dangerous because the parking lot going out into Federal Road, there's a curve just before, and then you gotta watch coming the other way, and there are gonna be some accidents there. Nobody thought about this. It was perfectly fine the way it was before.
okay, we're gonna move on, thanks, Michelle.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah,
Yep,
take
take
care.
care. See you again.
We're gonna move on to 14 Evergreen Drive, which is the application to put a generator on a concrete pad.
I looked at that pretty closely. I don't see a need for a permit.
Well, that's,
Assuming his application is
Old
accurate. there-
Turnpike has got a lot of wetlands on it.
Well, it says there's no wetlands and no wetlands disturbed and no regulated area disturbed.
Well, here's wetlands on this, so where's the,
Is
here?
that?
Yeah, that's, this is a GIS map, so this is
Yeah.
wetlands, so you're right.
Oh,
I don't know,
could I
from here
see?
to there?
Wait, which house? I live right around the corner.
I'm trying to figure that out. I think it's this one,
There's
14?
there's another map which shows where the generator's going. At least
They
it
must
was
be getting
online.
sort of a big generator. I've been thinking about getting one, but a little portable one.
Look
and
at the first
You gotta
page.
have like a concrete pad to put the generator on.
Huh. Which is the house? Is it?
I think it's this one, 14.
Oh, so it's the one on the corner.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
And where are they putting the generator?
online, there was a hand-drawn-in generator, proposed generator, right here.
Right here.
Where?
Right here on the
Right
corner.
there. The
Oh,
little
so they're
black
gonna do it
square.
right at the corner there.
Well, here's the corner,
Yep.
but that's the left rear corner of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Probably the fuse box is by there.
So they could be wrong about the regulated area, but
And
reading.
they probably
There
don't
are
need
a
it.
lot of
Next page.
wetlands around there,
There
though
are a
we've
lot
had
of
a couple of
wetlands.
applicants come in and,
Disturbed wetlands,
Fine.
disturbed upland review area is 0.
Yeah.
So that's a 0.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
looking
well,
at,
I'm thinking
everything's
0, I mean, they're not disturbing it, they're just plopping something
Yeah.
down on it. I mean, yeah, they're not disturbing it, I
Yeah.
suppose.
so
So I
where did
don't
they
know.
do the application?
I do not
Well,
know. I
somebody
assume
told
that
them they're
the
close
land use
enough.
office did whatever it is that they needed to
Yeah.
do to assure themselves. And probably that's why they've determined that a wetlands application is required. So I'm gonna go with that, but I'm with you.
There are wetlands across the street,
Also-
aren't there?
There's
I-
definitely some here. I mean, this
Yep,
is
yep.
all filled. We all know
Yeah.
this. I mean, Old Turnpike, this whole area was wetlands and they filled it. So,
There's nothing over there where the wetlands are, it's like a blank lot, basically? You know, between Old Turnpike Road and the house over there?
The only thing that a generator does in terms of land uses adds maybe 10, 12 square feet of impervious.
which is
Right.
nothing.
It's
There's,
nothing.
Which is nothing.
having been involved in installing a couple of
Yeah.
even bigger generators than that.
All right, well, I don't see any problem with this. I cannot, like you, I cannot decide, because there's no measurements on here
Yeah.
to show, the upland review area. No one put that on here, so I'm with you. I don't know where it is. But even if, since it's not in any wetland that we can determine,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
see
be
it.
okay with
I
it.
am too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be okay with it. Unfortunately, we cannot, approve it tonight. We've gotta wait the 2 weeks.
Right.
But I do not see any problems with
I don't
this
either.
whatsoever. It would be nice if the,
I assume it isn't a major construction thing either. They'll
It's
probably
not.
do it
It's
in a
very
day,
straightforward.
just pour a
Yeah,
little.
You and I
Here,
could do it.
You don't even
yeah,
pour
here, they,
concrete.
Dave, if
Why
you
would
want,
you
they,
do?
they
You-
included a construction
Yeah,
sequence of
you put
events.
I've watched it, you just put down some not riprap, but some,
Gravel.
Well,
gravel.
here it is, guys. Don't, wait, don't make it up.
Okay.
Here it is. They're
Yeah.
gonna deliver the generator.
Right.
They're gonna have a 10
Precast.
inch or 10
10
feet
10
of
feet.
hand-dug trench. They're gonna put 2 inches of conduit. They're going to backfill the trench. They're gonna install the propane tank. Then they're gonna put a poly tank pad. They're gonna put the tanks in, and then they're gonna turn the generator on. So,
Yep.
there it is. Don't make it up,
I
right?
won't.
Okay.
I was gonna get to that, but that's all right.
Don't make it up. We got it right here.
Yeah,
So thank them for putting the construction sequence in. I said, I don't see any problem with it,
Right.
so I'll make a motion then to continue.
Okay, and I wanna ask something. I live several houses down. I think it's okay if I ultimately vote on this as opposed to.
oh, sure.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
it
this
on
is your
a couple of
decision.
things.
It is your decision
Yeah.
in the end. It's not a collective
Yeah,
decision.
yeah, no, I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
because it's close.
Yep.
Really close.
Unless they paid for your last vacation to the Bahamas.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
No,
fine.
we had a couple of applications right by my house, and I abstained on those.
Well, that is your call. You're
Yeah,
the only
yeah, I
one that
think
can
that's far
decide.
enough away, so it's sort of, and what they're
Okay.
doing, it's sort of,
And it's always a good thing to make note of that.
yeah, yeah.
All right, I am going to make a motion to continue W-23-29, 14 Evergreen Drive, to our next regularly scheduled meeting, and there's no actions for the
My turn to second.
applicant. Okay, so Michael seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. All right, so now we're gonna move back to our continued public hearing. So, I don't need to reread the process for the public hearing, since we're just continuing it. I wanted to add to the, let me get the file here. All right, so, sorry. So, a couple of things here. First, I spoke with Christine today, and Christine has confirmed that on Wednesday, the 14th-ish, is that right? Yeah, about Wednesday, the 14th, she sent emails to all the people that we asked her to send them to. It includes the attorney, I think went to the selectmen, it's gone to the Northwest Conservation, It has gone to the Brookfield Conservation Commission, so all of those emails are out. That was what we had asked to have, to happen back at the end of March, but again, I think with the changes in staffing in the inland wetlands, or the wetlands, the land use office, it didn't happen, but we've noted that, so they are now all out, all the interested parties that we can think of, including Deep, you know, have been advised, we've told them what the schedule is, we've asked them to take a look at it and get back to us by the 10th of July. If, with their, you know, with any comments or questions. So that is a big job done, and I want to thank Christine and Laura for doing that. I've also wanted to add into the record some of the additional, where did it go? Some of the additional information that I used. If I can find it. Some of the additional information, oh, here it is, that I used to help me, and help us craft this. And that includes a paper by Brian Murphy, called, it's a position statement, it calls the utilization of the 100-foot buffer zones to protect riparian areas in Connecticut. Mr. Murphy is a technical assistant, at the time, was a technical assistant biologist for the Inland Fisheries Division. So they all talk about sedimentation control, and they talk about, you know, the importance of buffers, and actually give, you know, they make note that there's no scientific, you know, absolute distance, you know, that you need to have to make sure that, you know, no pollutants get in there. It's all based on soils, it's based on slopes, you know, so there's no, you know,
Real formula
there's
for it.
no real formula
Right.
for it, but the, you know, every place you look, they continue to talk about, you know, 25 to 30 feet to 40 feet to 50 feet of a buffer with the existing vegetation or more, if there's missing, is showing, you know, as they do their tests, is showing to really knock down the pollutants, you know, that would otherwise get into the stream. So I'm gonna add that into the file, along with another one, which is the riparian buffer width, and this is the one that actually's got more details on it with distances. This is an EPA document called Riparian Buffer Width Vegetative Cover and Nitrogen Removal Effectiveness Study. It's a review of the current science and regulations, and it's specifically talking about, this one is from, again, from the US EPA. This one is also talking about, you know, the various distances. This has got a table on it and two charts, you know, which talk about, you know, buffer width and, you know, nitrogen absorption. And like I said, they're all, where you see dramatic improvements is in the 25 to 35 to 50 foot.
Well, a lot of it depends
buffer.
on the growth too.
Well, and it definitely does,
Right.
you know, so again, I just wanted to put this into the record that, you know, the numbers that we have come up with are not out of thin air.
We didn't make it up.
We
There's
didn't make it
plenty of
up.
science.
You know, that there is, to the extent, it is based on, you know, what's available out on the internet. And these are, you know, these are, I assume these are from reputable sources, this is not from.
That's the most important thing,
Yeah,
reputable
they're from reputable
sources.
sources, so I wanted to add that into the record, so, let me just ask my colleagues, I know you were not here for the opening, but anybody
were
else
there-
have anything you wanna add to the conversation?
Were there any comments
No.
last meeting?
No, but we're gonna ask for them again.
Okay.
So again, it's a public hearing, it is our public hearing, so we don't have any timeframes, we don't have to adhere to any timeframes, they're ours. We have given all the interested parties just about a month, you know, to get back to us, so we are very keen to get their input. So again, if, I am looking out, there is no one in the audience, but again, if there was anybody, I would ask, anybody have any questions? Nope. Anybody, there's nobody here, we'll just say, anybody want to speak in favor of it from the audience? There's no one here. Anybody want to speak in opposition? There's nobody
Nobody's
here.
here.
But we want to go through the motions, we want to make sure that we don't
Pretty.
skip a step. So if there isn't anything else, I will make a motion.
I'm gonna ask a question.
Yes.
because I did miss the first part of the discussion last
Okay.
meeting. Can you summarize the changes in the regulations? Are you increasing the required buffer by so many feet, or from no feet to 35 feet, or from,
We're doing
or
two,
we're adding a?
we're doing two things. This
Yeah.
public hearing does two things,
Mhm.
and they're in the same public hearing, so I'm gonna talk about
Okay.
both of them. The first thing we are doing is we're gonna update the regulations to say, if an applicant is proposing to directly impact a watercourse or a wetland, like
Mhm.
fill it or put a road over it or
Mhm.
something, anyways, a permanent disturbance or elimination, removal, they need to, before they come to us, advise all the adjoining properties.
Okay.
Again, because what we found is wetlands rarely exist solely on one property. They do cross property lines, and so the neighbors have an interest, a very direct interest in anything that might happen to a wetland, and my experience, they know more about the wetlands than even the
So,
soil scientists, so that's the first thing.
Okay, in answer to my question, there
Yep.
was no requirement like that in the.
There was
with
no
that, or there
requirement like
currently
that.
is no
Yeah,
requirement
there was
to
no
notify.
requirement like that, so this
Okay.
is a new requirement, and they just have to bring us the evidence that they've done the mailing,
Okay.
okay, and they gotta bring that in the application,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise you can have delays.
Yeah.
Okay. The second is the riparian buffers, and this is new. This is essentially what it is saying, that if you've got and it's only a water course or an intermittent water course, it's not a wetland, it's just a
Mhm, a
water
water course.
course, that area 35 feet from that water course is going to remain as is, Unless-
On each side.
on each side, right,
Okay.
on each
So
side.
35 feet from the edge or the center line?
I think, I'll double check, but it's from the edge,
I would,
from the
it
edge.
should.
Yeah, from
Should
the
be. I
edge.
don't know if it says that
Well, we'll
in
double
our-
check.
In our regulation.
Well, you know, there's something else, as long as you brought that up. What's considered the edge?
Where the water is.
Yeah.
But maybe it changes.
Well,
You know,
when
if
you
we're
did
having a
the,
drought,
when-
maybe it recedes. If we're having a lot of rain, maybe it increases, so.
well, then we'll just have to go out and,
The edge of the,
where is it?
Might have
It's
to
a
define what edge means.
yeah.
Yeah,
At what
within
time of year, like
35
spring?
feet, the existing conditions within 35 feet of any water
Be
course
full.
edge
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I
will
don't have
remain
the
as
answer to
is.
it.
Yeah.
Unless, all right, I mean,
Yeah.
that can be modified if you're gonna do a crossing,
Mhm.
because obviously you gotta
Yeah.
change it around. Or, you know, we may change, because we've also asked them to do a little inventory of what is there,
Mhm.
what's in that buffer. Is it grass, is it trees, is it Rose of Sharon, is it Japanese barberry? You know, is there anything there that we should be, noteworthy? And then also, are they planning, we can also, that 35 feet can change if they are planning some, maybe improvements to that.
Mhm. You
So
know,
we can
so-
look at
something
it
like
on a
remove-
case-by-case basis.
Yeah,
like
there's,
re-
yeah,
like
there's,
removing invasives.
yes, like removing invasives, or maybe it's grass down to the water course, right? That's not great for a water course.
So we can ask
We
for
can,
trees.
they
to
can
be
say,
put-
look, we'll put some trees in,
Mhm.
and then maybe they've got something else there that, maybe there's a little give for a get,
Okay.
right?
But it gives us control over that 35 feet.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, well, what it's saying
Now-
is
now
that
the
you have the
only thing
expectation,
is, I-
just one second, you have the
Sure.
expectation, then we're gonna get your question, you have the expectation that what is there, what Mother Nature has put on 35 feet to both sides of that water course is going to stay unless you got a crossing, or there's something unique in the inventory, or likely you're gonna make some remediation or some enhancements.
Mhm.
Yes, Dave?
Oh, I still think we should define what edge means somehow. It's more than saying the edge of the water course to dry land, because many of these water courses, they can completely change over months and years, so I think we should somehow define what we
Well,
mean about edge.
I would think the fact that it says existing conditions would be where the water is when the application is filed.
If
But
you
I-
wanna think about it and make some
but,
changes
yeah.
and make some additions,
But
feel
it's a
free.
possibility.
Yeah.
Well, it could be during a rainy period,
Mhm.
or an application could be in the fall after a very dry summer, so everything sort of changes at
Yeah,
that
I
point.
think at
Well-
that point, we're getting
Good
into
point,
the-
Dave. I think it's a good point.
It is, I
Well,
don't know
no,
how to
that's
write it
why I
up.
think
I
we
don't
should
either.
have
I
a,
don't- think
sort of
about-
a precise definition of what we mean by edge.
Right.
I mean, it can be done, maybe it's just looking
Well,
at the history of the
if-
waterway.
If it could be done easily, then we wouldn't be having these continual discussions about where the 440 line is.
Well, we can take
It's
it under
kind of the same-
consideration, I
yeah.
guess, and everybody can, put your thinking caps on, and if you've got a more precision to the word edge, then I think we should put it in.
Yeah.
Tonight, when we were talking about the 440 line, usually that isn't contentious. It'll show up on a map, and there's no discussion about it, it's just there, and that's it.
Well,
But, the point tonight was that, the gentleman made in the audience, is that, apparently water does change,
Mhm.
that's why we're talking about this right now, what is edge? That's where the conversation went.
Well, I'm open to anything. If someone's
That's a
got a
good
better.
point.
You know what the problem is, you can't say to somebody, well, we want a historical average over the last 7 years, because who would keep
Who's
that?
monitoring it?
There's no
Who
way
would
of
know?
doing that.
Yeah, who would know?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, well, we can think about it. We're gonna make a motion to continue this in a couple of seconds, so we
Okay.
can put our thinking caps on.
And there's something
yeah,
else
exactly.
with this definition. If it's made in the fall after a very dry summer, if we say edge pertains to a wet spring,
Well, we
Here's
can
the
just
thing.
think about
there's
it.
no way of even documenting
My
that.
point was, going from the center of the stream, you're gonna lose some significant portion.
Right,
If you go from the edge, even if you're not 100% correct about the edge, it's gonna give you more buffer.
Well, the
without being
problem
too-
is, what is the center of a waterway?
We're not
How do
using-
you do that?
center is
All right,
bad,
okay,
center
so
is
like-
bad.
that's
Let's just
like-
think
Center,
about it. Let's think
center
about it.
is bad. I won't support center.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no,
agree.
how would you
Yes.
determine the center of something?
That's what I'm saying, I won't support center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll support an edge, because usually on a water course, there is a defined bank,
Yeah, that's a good point.
right? There's
But it
usually-
changes, so we've got to
Well,
sort of
Well, okay,
define
but
what the
I,
bank would be.
but I don't know how to deal with, and here's the other thing to think about. I mean,
Yeah,
there's,
yeah.
as we've talked about, there is nothing absolutely magical about 35 feet. So whether it's 34 and a half, right, or it is 36, right, as the water moves might in a dry period, even in a dry period, you're gonna have a defined bank. You're gonna see the channel on a water course. You cannot miss that. And
Where
if you're
do-
gonna
where
miss
do
it by
we
an
get
inch.
Where do we get the number 35 from then?
All these that I have just been talking about, the EPA, the riparian buffer width,
Yeah, they
vegetative
talk about
cover.
35 in there.
Yeah, they talk about a position statement from a technical assistant biologist and the others. There's nothing scientific about it. There's not like one specific number. But there's ranges here that show how, as the further you go, the more pollutants you can keep from getting into the water courses. And in general, most of the significant changes in that 35-foot buffer.
If you're interested and have an afternoon and you have nothing else at all to do, just Google riparian buffers.
Yeah, it's very interesting. There's a lot out there on it, which is why I think we want
Well, you
to
hear
act on
that
it.
35-foot,
What you hear is everything from 35 feet to 300 feet. But realistically, what she's saying is if you do go into the nitty-gritty and look at all the charts and such, as you go further away, there's less and less effectiveness. And somewhere between, what did you say, 35 to 50 feet?
Yeah, 25 to 50.
25 to 50 feet,
Yeah.
somewhere in there is the number you're gonna pick. They don't give you a number, they just said at 10 feet, you'll get this much benefit, at 20 feet, you'll get this much. And after 25 to 35 feet, the benefits drop off.
do you think I'm extending this, the quantity of water would affect pollutants going in? In other words, if you have Candlewood Lake, it might be 300 feet, but.
What's not, it doesn't affect Candlewood Lake. Candlewood Lake is not a water course. So it's not,
We're
it is
talking
not
about
water
the water
course, it's
upstream.
only water
Streams,
courses.
rivers,
You're
Brooks.
just talking about something
It's
that moves.
only water courses and intermittent water courses, it's both.
Okay, well, wouldn't the Housatonic be different than some little stream just, going through a property and sometimes it dries up? Wouldn't the sphere of influence of a great waterway be different than an intermittent waterway? I'm not giving you the
I don't
answer,
think
I'm just
so.
asking a question.
I don't think so, because a
but-
gram of,
but wouldn't the
because a
water
gra-
tower-
wait, because a gram of nitrogen, it doesn't care whether it's going into a, into an intermittent water course or into a river, it doesn't matter, it's a gram of nitrogen, and that's going there.
But wouldn't the water table in a substantial waterway sort of be higher and more susceptible to pollutants?
I don't know how to answer that.
I don't either,
Yeah, I don't know how to
but
answer that.
I'm just, I'm thinking, like the Still River, for example,
Yeah.
wouldn't that have a bigger sphere of influence on its, on the sides than,
Well, only-
some little stream that
Dave,
is here and there?
only from the standpoint that the Still River is a measured, encompasses a lot of land, a lot of area. So the fact that it's a volume and encompasses so much area, it may be more effective as opposed to a brook, let's say. So,
Yeah, and yet that isn't necessarily a
saying?
great example
yet.
I mean,
either.
Not
the
yet.
Still River, let's just say hypothetically, goes from Danbury to Housatonic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, and it might be 25 feet wide, let's just say.
Yep,
So it's gathering all the, right now, all the,
oh, it's all,
now.
all the water
All
courses,
the water-
all the water
exactly,
courses
exactly.
that, all the little water courses that
Exactly,
feed
that-
that,
all
yes,
the
so
lo-
yes, in
exactly.
general, right?
Right.
It's likely,
Right.
I don't know how you do it,
Right.
measure it a percentage or total, do
I-
you wanna
I don't
measure
know
this as a
either.
percent, or do you wanna measure it as total solids?
Whichever gives us a more, a firmer answer
To what?
to what we're
It
talking
may-
about for
it
modifications.
There may not be an absolute answer.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it
Okay.
matters whether you've got a gram in the Housatonic, or a gram in the Still River, or a gram in an intermittent water course. We're trying to keep that gram of bad stuff out of
Away.
any water course,
which eventually is gonna get to the sound.
which eventually will
right,
get to the
exactly.
sound.
So we wanna,
We wanna keep that gram of nitrogen out of any water course, if we can.
Humanly possible,
Right.
yeah. The Still River isn't a great example either, because sometimes it isn't substantial at all, and yet we've had rainfalls where,
Well, it was-
floods,
it
it
was
becomes
just-
a
it was just
major
something to
river.
relate
well,
to.
Right.
this is a good example of, right now, we have no protection.
Right.
And whether it's 35 feet or 32 and a half feet, or whether we measure exactly from the edge of the, I think we need to do this. We can change it if we have to. But I think this is an excellent compromise. That'll give
Moving in
us
the right direction,
a
definitely.
move in the right direction. The amounts are fine. If we find that we use the wrong definition, or there's something happens, we can go back and review it.
We can
have
absolutely, that's why we
another-
sent it out to DEEP,
Yeah.
we sent it to DEEP, we sent it to
Yeah.
Northwest Conservation, we've sent it to Conservation Commission, we've sent it to whoever else.
Plus, we've given ourselves enough leeway in any
Right.
given application
Right,
to say, to make our definition firm at that point.
Right.
Well, this is where we think the edge is, and here's 35 feet, and no, you can't do that
right.
right here.
That's right.
So I think we're very good there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then I will make a motion to continue the public hearing until our next regularly scheduled meeting.
I'll second that.
Bob seconds that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okey dokey, review of the previous minutes. I have a couple of things, Cassandra, and I think I'm gonna hand these to you, or I can do it over here. I don't know, did anybody else? I had some things,
No,
anybody else
well,
wanna
I
go?
wasn't here.
Michael's not here, so.
You'll have
here-
to show me what you,
Yeah, I'm on page 1, down it's item number 2. It would be, we did talk about it as a response, but what I really need are reports. Okay. So that's the one thing, you can have this. here, under the public hearing, we wanna say Chair Fox opened the hearing and spoke on how the hearing will be run. And then it would be Secretary Hudeman read the legal notice, okay? Then this, I'm on page 2, this sentence didn't make sense to me.
Which one, yeah.
The paragraph that starts, the Inland Wetlands Commission, in regards to the regulation changes draft dated April, was asking for input, to which the land use office did not receive a response. I don't think we need that sentence.
Okay.
I would just strike all that, okay? And then we can say there was no email yet sent to the town attorney, the commission, the blah, 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 okay? So then this is all good. And then, I'm on page 3, again, the regulations are only for water courses. I think there's wetlands, so that comes out. And then I think that was, what did I have next? Oh, then I'm on page 4. Reading this thing, there's a new, oh, Plan 2 could not be found, so could not be approved. I would just change the letters referring, the new plan to which the letter is referring is not in the folder, right?
Okay.
Is not in folder,
Okay.
is that right? Is it folder, not in the application?
Well, it said could not be found.
Yeah, it's not that we couldn't find it, it wasn't there.
It was not.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't find it in the application, but it wasn't there, so it was not in the folder. Let's just say folder. Okay, I think that's just more precision. And other than that, I don't think I saw anything else, okay? Anybody else see anything? I know, Michael, you're gonna abstain. Although yeah, you're gonna abstain.
Yeah, he wasn't here.
Alrighty, okay, well, that, I will make a motion then to approve the minutes of June 12th, 2023 with the corrections just discussed.
I'll second that.
Bob seconds that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
I'll abstain.
Oh, thank you,
Yes.
thank you, thank
Yep.
you, I said it and then I forgot. So the motion carries 3-0-1. Mr.
Yep.
Newstead abstains, so thank you.
3
3 to
that's
0 to
right.
1.
I
Okay.
think of the numbers
Informal
there.
discussion.
No.
You have anything formal to say, or anything
Do I have
informal?
anything for it? Yeah, let's go.
That is a great jacket.
Thank
I
you.
love that jacket. I just love that jacket. Anything else? Cassandra, anything? How did we do?
I think it went really well.
Okay,
You all right?
Yep.
Good, good.
all right,
Got it down to almost under an hour.
okay.
All
There's one other thing I was thinking about. Oh, no, I can't remember what it was. All right. Well, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
I'll
moved.
second that. Go ahead, Dave.
No,
No, go ahead, Dave.
Dave
please.
makes,
I moved.
all right, Michael makes the motion to adjourn. Bob seconds that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. We are adjourned.
Turn off your microphones.
You can turn